What's going on, family? Wagwan. It's the brown skin assassin shooting of a president. It's Dell Brereton. Oh, it's been a heck of a weekend, man. And I'm getting myself organized to see, hopefully, many of you in Chicago on Thursday, December the 1st. I just wanted to run a few things by us as we get ready to, have all these deep conversations about the furtherance of a movement. I think the number one thing that I'd like to discuss today. Good morning, Second Exodus. Bless you, bro. Bless your family too. I think the number one thing that I wanted to reiterate and to hit is I call it the perspective of blackness. I've mentioned some things like this again, but I want to kind of dedicate a video to it. The perspective of blackness is how I can call it. Good morning, Ann. I need to let, and I know I look at the analytics, and there's about 85 to 90% of the people that follow this are in America, are American individuals, and so I'm coming to speak to you, and I'm coming to speak to you again what I call the perspective of blackness. And I want the American perspective, blessed rising to you to be this and to understand this. And for those who don't, for those people of ethnicity and color and from the diaspora who don't live in America, if this isn't you, then that's fine. But it's how I think and it's how I see the Americans. We look up to you. Most of the world, from the black perspective, we look up to you. And you have been leaders in the areas of social justice, statesmen and women. What's going on, Janine? Jamin T. Jadoun, I think I said it right. But you guys have been statesmen and leaders to the communities at large that are black communities. And I need you guys to understand the importance of American justice from the eyes and the hands of members of the Afro-Semitic, Afro-Hamitic, so-called black communities, even Afro-Latino communities. We are waiting and relying on you. The whole world is waiting and relying on you to be what we need you to be. And we need you to be great. I'm telling you right now, we need you to be great. And if anything, I am only coming to give advice to greatness that is currently existing. I mean, think about this. What does the American black person do that isn't great? From criminality to presidentialness, all of these heroes, all of these individuals in gang culture, individuals in rap culture, individuals in art and theater, entertainment, even food. Like what does the American black person do that is not considered the greatness of almost everything that looks like it's black? I mean, the Kenyans might have you in long distance running. I mean, you guys are the examples to the world at what excellence looks like and achievement looks like from the black community. And we feel, and I'm speaking corporately for those who are not of the diaspora, we feel that this last piece of seemingly respect and true justice. I'm not in the U.S. I was educated in the U.S. I went to university in the U.S. on a basketball scholarship, and I'm actually not. I live in Canada. I've lived in Trinidad. I've lived in Africa. but I'm not a U.S. resident or a U.S. citizen, no. for that person who thought that I was already in the U.S. I'm not. And I'm not saying excellence doesn't live outside of the United States. I'm saying on the macro level, really the whole ethos of blackness. I know though some of you don't like that word, but I'm using it general, right? We are waiting and looking for you to be the greatest example that we have. Look at the conversation I had, and those who have not seen it, with Ashriel, and how, and I have to correct my number, apparently it wasn't $5.8 billion that was given to Israel by America. It's 3.8. It's 38 billion over the course of the next 10 years, broken down by at 3.8 billion a year. You can go on to bring me on your channel if you want me to bring me on my channel. The best thing to do is to go on to my go in the back end of this particular page, and it says stay up to date, and you can send me your email there, and you can message me there. But Israel is sending $38 billion. Sorry, America is sending Israel $38 billion, 3.8 billion a year, and none of those monies filter anywhere near the Hebrew Israelite settlements in Israel. They need us. They need us. And we have some great examples of other communities that support their communities abroad, and we have to start caring about it. We have to really start caring about it in a serious way, and we have to understand that if it affects our brother, it affects us. If they come for you, eventually they're going to come for me. They put you on a list, by association, I'm on the list too. And it's extremely important for us as a society to realize that the self-governance, self-determination as a people has been the last thing, the last bastion of hope, the last institution that the American, to me, has not achieved. Other countries run by people of color, they've achieved it. And this is the last piece, I think, that America has not achieved. And I think you guys haven't achieved it. This is just me talking. I think you haven't achieved it because there has been no institutionalization of your suffering that makes the nation that you belong to say you are entitled to it. There's a level of entitlement that must come from sufferation. And everybody's gotten it but you. The Native American has gotten it. The Native American has gotten it. The German Jew has gotten it. But everybody but you hasn't gotten it. And it's not right. It cannot be allowed. And this is what the organization that I'm hoping to foster, a worldwide NGO called the Association of World Justice, I hope it fosters that level of repair. Pencil Pen, thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. For those who are here for the very first time, please subscribe. Please like. I don't know what you heard. I don't know how come you're here. I don't know if the algorithm brought you or somebody else brought you. But I'm thanking you for being here. For my earth members, wind, fire, spirit. Bless all of you, all of the members. Fire people, I'm coming with a video for you guys today. Spirit people, you should already receive book number 1. Book number 2 should be coming. Earth, we're all in this together. And wind members, as I get your emails, as I get your businesses, you know I've done it in the past, because even this jotitdown.com was brought to you by jotitdown.com. And don't write it down, jot it down, jotitdown.com. Miss Helen, we still with you. Thank you for everybody for being here. And it's a very low day. I can see, I'm looking at the numbers. I realize, what's been happening with these algorithms and how things are being talked about and how things are being blocked, and it doesn't matter to me. We're going to figure it out. But at the end of the day, we need you guys to be great. And so what's taking place on December the 1st is we're coming over there to speak with Chicago's leaders. And then after we speak with Chicago's leaders, the goal is to have a conversation with the ADL. And to sit down with the ADL with our following, let's put it that way. I've gotten some back channeling in respect to certain individuals who would like to speak to me, and I would love to speak to them. I'd love to speak to the Hebrew Israelite leader. I have something I do need to tell him, and I would love to speak to him offline about that, and then do a show later. I have got an opportunity in the back channel. I want to speak to Dr. Cornell West, one of my mentors. He doesn't even know. You know, people are your mentor, they don't even know. Like an individual that I've just looked at and said, wow, what a great brain. I like him, and I want to talk to him. And so things like that you're going to see coming on the show. I'm trying to get the greatest minds in the world to sit down and have conversations with us. That's my goal. And my goal is to shake things up to the point where the black community at large will be better. That's it. That's simple. That's where I'm living. So I need everybody to come down to Chicago. I'm going to post the address. I need everybody in Chicago. I need everybody who's near Chicago on Thursday for that meeting at 4 o'clock. It's at a local school. And then the next day, we're hoping to go and have a conversation with the ADL in Chicago. And I see people putting other names here. Hebrew Israelites has no leader other than Christ. Wondering who you are talking about. So I was talking about Bishop Nathaniel, and I was talking about the Hebrew Israelite organization that he sits as the founder of. That's what I was discussing. I'm hoping that every single individual who considers himself a leader in Chicago, no matter where they are, from the block to the bureaucrat, I would like to meet with you, and the leaders in Chicago want to include you in that conversation. All of this is being done for you guys. All of this is being done for our community, and what's taken place in the last little while has not been about any one person creating a platform for themselves. It's been for a community to explode, to trampoline from one location to another, to go higher. And I think this is a moment for it. And I think all of you have felt it. Everybody who's been part of this, I would say, this tremendous move from Kyrie and Ye and all of the other individuals who've been sitting and having these conversations. This is not just a simple conversation anymore. It's a conversation, and having conversations with the Jewish community, and having conversations of what's happening with the Hebrew Israelites in Israel, and seeing the demonstration of the Hebrew Israelite movement in America, seeing the ADL's aggressive attack on the black community. All these things combined, you just got to go down the video list and listen. It's been a heck of a thing. Let me see here. Yes, good blessings to everybody. Yeah, and I agree with you. You got to be unapologetic regarding this thing. This has been a long time. This has been going on a long time, man. And like I said, I've been sitting out here a long time, and I use analogies all the time. I use the analogy of Jericho and Rahab, and sitting there looking and seeing the Americans, and seeing that pillar of cloud by day and that pillar of fire by night go up and down throughout the deserts, thinking, when are these people going to take over? Because they've been ready to do it for a long time. They've been ready to walk in the truest height of their calling for a long time. And I see so many distractions, and I don't know. I don't know if you guys see it, but I see so many things as distractions. I believe that to some extent, hip-hop music has been a great distraction to American black people. To some extent, it has been the marching orders of a movement where you're able to express yourself clearly without censorship, and you're allowed to say what you need to say and get it off your chest, and it could be a rallying cry. So some hip-hop artists have done it like that, and to some extent also it has been a great distraction to a great people, and has not shown the best sides of us at all times. All these things are true. They can be true together. But I don't want us to be distracted in this moment. Honestly, I don't want Ye's presidency to distract us. Yeah, Kanye running for president. I mean, I'm not going to speak to his success capacity with that, because I make it a point that if a black person, a person of color, ethnic person of Shemitic or Hamitic background attempts to be great, it is not my job to shoot them down. It's not my job to criticize them or say, hey, that's not possible. That's not my job. But I don't want it to be a distraction, because there's a bigger movement than Ye being the president. There's a much bigger movement. And I don't want it to be a distraction, right? I cannot believe I've sat here this long and, and gotten to the point where it's like, I don't need to even watch basketball anymore. When I even see a basketball commercial now, I get offended. I'm like, they're just still playing basketball. They don't even know what happened to them. They don't even know what took place. They don't even know what they lost. They're just still playing basketball. And so these kind of things to me are distractions, and I don't want us to fall into the place where, as a community, after injustice slaps you across the face, a little time goes by and you're distracted. The Brooklyn Nets are playing again, Kyrie's playing again, Kyrie's wearing Nikes, wearing a different pair of Nikes every day. Like, all these kind of things are distractions. Like, I don't know, I'm the kind of person that's like, wait a minute, man, like, what happened to the movement? What happened to the movement, man? Where is the movement? I don't want us to be distracted. There is still an underpinning of where the ADL, I'm gonna use them specifically. The ADL has shown their hand. They have shown themselves. They have shown who they are. And if members of the Jewish community think we're going to go back to sleep because of that, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to go back to sleep, and I hope you don't go back to sleep. If you haven't seen the disproportionate amount of power in the hands of the ADL Jewish community, the pro-ADL, I'll call them that, the pro-ADL Jewish community, and the entire black community of America, if you don't see the disproportionate of power, if that doesn't disturb you, then I don't know what's going to wake you up. I don't know how we as a people could sit there while not just government, not just laws, not just history has victimized you, but sitting there having an organization with the wherewithal, the power, and the proclivity to simply say, we're going to arbitrarily decide which black people are ones that we want, which ones we don't want, which ones we like, which ones we don't like. We're going to figure out what faith groups we don't want, we don't agree with. We're going to infiltrate them. We're going to bankrupt them. We're going to pull them down. Which the celebrities we're not going to tolerate. Like, I can't see how you can allow that. I don't know. Me personally, I can't see it. How can you allow it? It's like somebody slapping your child, punching and slapping your child in the playground. Your child comes home and says, "Mommy, daddy, somebody slapped me in the playground," and you go out there looking for him in day one. But after day 2, day 3, day 4, you kind of, it just wears off. It's like, oh, it's all right. Don't worry about it. Just don't let him slap you again. What did you do to get slapped? What did you do to allow yourself to be slapped? Maybe you should take accountability for the fact that you're letting somebody slap. All this kind of, I don't know. I can't fall asleep. Present day rap music has single-handedly undermined our community by changing the platform from activism into buffoonery. Oh man, I couldn't have said it better, World Traveler. I couldn't have said it better. And using Kanye is called the Farrakhan effect. You know what? Can I talk about Farrakhan? Because I don't want to tip my hand completely. I've said a lot. I've said a whole bunch of stuff, and I want to keep a little bit in the bag. But you got to give people. And I believe in this. You got to give people enough room to save face. You got to give people enough room to save face. Unless you really got all the power. If you got all the power, then you don't have to. You can just say, hey, grovel before me, which is what the ADL is saying. Grovel before me, pay me money, apologize multiple times, then I'm still going to cancel you because I've got all the power. So, but I want to humiliate you. But if you don't have all the power, but you have a lot of power, which we do in our community, we have a whole lot of power because our power is in our numbers, our power is in our spending force, our power is in our furiousness and our ferocity. That's where our power is. Farrakhan has power too, but I'll say it like this, and maybe some of you guys won't agree with me, right? Once you drop Farrakhan, once you drop the name Farrakhan on the Jewish community, in their mind, it's like, whoa, you're not trying to work with us. You're not trying to work with us, right? That's what goes on in their head. Once you say Farrakhan, once you bring Farrakhan to the table, in their mind, this guy's not trying to work with us at all, right? And me personally, we need Farrakhan, but this is how you need Farrakhan. This is how you need the nation. You need them as a threat, because they are, with the Hebrew Israelite community, as we have seen recently, they are the army on the road. They are what causes communities that don't look like us to be extremely fearful. Extremely fearful. Because they don't want to see a whole bunch of Farrakhans rise up tomorrow. They don't want to see that. They don't want to see that, buddy. So you got to use words like Farrakhan, like you use salt when you're making food. You got to sprinkle a little bit. You got to sprinkle a little bit. Hey, Jewish community, you want us all to be Farrakhan? That's what you're looking for? You're looking for a whole bunch of Farrakhans to rise up? That's the scariest thing that's the scariest sentence in American history to say that. Do you want a nation of Farrakhans to rise up? They don't want that, man. Yeah, thank you. Hit like for the algorithm. The algorithm's been playing games with me. It's been playing a lot of games with me, but it's all right. It's all right. I'm not doing this to be famous. Enough people know about this already, so the algorithm can do what it wants. You guys can share it, spread it around, put it on your social media groups, and people will find it. Put it in WhatsApp, put it everywhere. People will find it. But I just know on Thursday, December the 1st, I'm going to be in Chicago. I'm going to post the description in this video. And I'm going to be in Chicago, and I'm going to be talking to some great leaders, civil rights leaders from antiquity, community leaders. I'm going to be talking to members. Hopefully, we're going to have a meeting with members of Congress. I'm not trying to create the wheel. I am trying to give more motion, and some direction to something that's already rolling. Yeah, they play dirty. I got my backup channels, my brother. If you guys look, I'm backed up on Rumble now, so you can give some likes to Rumble. But all I know is that there has to be a negotiation, and I said this before, and I believe very strongly that reparations is the only thing that will make the black community stop desiring the recompense of reward that we deserve. The only word you can tell me is reparations, but this is what I want to say to you. Money is not enough, you know that? There's no reparations without identity. Oh, thank you for saying it. Money is not enough. It's not, you can't just quiet us down with simply money, and I'll tell you why. And I love that sentence. There's no reparations without identity. I love that. Oh my gosh, that should go out the world. That should go throughout the world. There's no reparations without identity. I love that. That's not what I was thinking, but wow, what a sentence. What a statement. Second Exodus, that's powerful. Or put that on the t-shirt. Reparations without power is impotent. Reparations without power is impotent. Reparations without power is pandering. That's right, Herman Rome. That's why you can't announce all your moves. You can't, because I'm telling the Jewish community, you don't want a bunch of Farrakhans rising up, because that's where you pushed it. That's where you pushed the black community to. You pushed them to militancy. There's no place to go Once your back is against the wall, it's militancy or slavery. There's no other place to go. And that's where we are. But reparations without power is mute and it's impotent. Perhaps that should go for merch on your channel. I don't know. How do you create the merch on my channel? That's the people in the back end. And I'm like, what kind of merch is this? You got to fix that. That doesn't look right. Anyway, the reparations without power is mute. The ADL has power. They have real power. When you can access government, when you can operate as a domestic spy organization, which is what they do. They infiltrate, gather information, and then they try to undermine you. And they have government support and financing. It's power. The Black community, all I think all of us should ask for. Give us an organization like the ADL, and some of that funding that goes to Israel, some of it should go to our community worldwide. But don't give it to every organization. Give it to one centralized organization. Like you give all your money to the ADL, $100 million organization, and let us disperse it. Let us become partner organizations with one government affiliated organization. I'm gonna tell you what the manifesto is, because I'm just giving you number one. I have multiple, but this is the one I want us to be in our head. What does this guy want to do with us? I want us to put together an NGO that's government affiliated, that operates as a world reparations fund for individuals of the Black diaspora. America first, the world second. That's it. America first, the world second. And for us to have the wherewithal to be connected to government, where if we feel people somewhere in the world that represent us are in a at-risk situation, we have the capacity to initiate government to support and to help those people. That's it. And if that's too much to ask, then shoot, we might as well just stop caring about everything right now. That's too much to ask for us to be for us to have a national organization that protects Black people all over the world, sponsored by the strongest military force in the world. If that is too much to ask for, then why does the state of Israel exist? Because that's what it has. The Hebrew Israelites look for Christ to build his government. We have no issue with reparations, but we look for him to build his government. That's Christology, my friend. That's Christology. Christology, the concept of Christology is that Christ is a king, and that we understand that he is King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and all that worship him are waiting for theocratic governance according to Christ. But look who we are. We are the body. And the body has hands and feet. Right. And the body has hands and feet. And he has empowered the body to go out into the world and to make disciples of all nations. That's what it said. Right. He told his body that you might have life and have it more abundantly. He told his body that. And so we function as the body. And we have to do the work. I like that. And so there's no there is no movement without a body. It's one thing to sit here and talk about it and then wait for God to do everything. We don't have a scriptural example where we laid on our butts and God did it all. We don't have a scriptural example like that. We don't have one. We do not have one. Every move of God was led by God, but his body, his people operated, walked in it, demonstrated faith. The Bible says that Abraham believed God and it was counted as righteousness to him. How did he believe God? He went to seek a place that he did not know. He didn't sit back and say, God, when you tell me, I'll start walking. No, he started walking before God told him where he was going. And this is the whole purpose. We have to start walking. We have to start walking in a direction. And I think the direction to walk in is a direction of a nationalistic organization put together to make sure the protection of Black peoples with force and with finance is something that we finally must come to the conclusion of. And not just governmental support, it must be supported by the same communities that attempted to marginalize you. Okay. So I'm hoping that you guys, I'm gonna take a few more minutes before I gotta go in 5 minutes. I'm hoping that you guys can come out and meet us. I'm gonna be, that's all I'm gonna be talking about. Come out and meet us. Come out and have a conversation with us. Come out and be boots on the ground. Let me tell you this. Let me say this. A think tank. I got to use my words wisely. A think tank without a ground force isn't anything to worry about. What caused these folks to be so alarmed when they saw all those Hebrew Israelites march? It wasn't the fact that it wasn't about, oh my gosh, all these Hebrew Israelites are out here spreading hate. They weren't worried about that. Oh my goodness, all these Hebrew Israelites are out here tying up traffic. They weren't worried about that. They're like, oh my gosh, these Hebrew Israelites are out here looking like a force. Oh my gosh, I hope they're peaceful. I hope they don't motivate others to follow them. You hear what I'm saying? That's what a movement looks like. That's what a movement looks like. And Chicago is only the first place. Power will wake you up. I love it. The optics scared the crap out of them. And I'm telling you, there's members of the Jewish community who don't want that lion to wake up fully. And Bishop Nathaniel said, oh, that you haven't even seen our numbers. That's just a little bit. I love how he said that. That's just a little bit. Black organizations and unity alarms them, regardless of what shape. Yeah, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And what I'm saying to you is that that's just one Black organization in America. That's just one Hebrew Israelite organization in America. But what if we woke up all the Hebrew Israelite groups to be that unified? And then you woke up the entire church. And then you wake up the whole nation of Islam. And then you wake up the street. And we all walk up in there and say, hey, it's about time we have some changes. That's the conversation that we need to have, right? How do you motivate an entire group of people? What time on the 1st? It's 4 o'clock. It'll be 4 o'clock, and I'll post it in here. And if anybody has the address and you want to post it, you can do that right now. What would motivate a whole group of people who have different ideological perspectives, a different world vision, different approach? You know what's woken us up? You know it's woken all of us up and caused all of us to say amen together? It is that we have all been marginalized based on what we look like. Not what we think like, but what we look like. And that's why everybody here, who some of us come from, I'm a Christian, there's Hebrew Israelites here, there's Muslims, there's non-believers, there's atheists, okay? They have woken up to the fact that saying, hey, you know what? We realize this is not even about, Kyrie wasn't persecuted for simply his religious perspective. He wasn't persecuted for his worldview. He was persecuted simply because he represented something that was part of our culture. And now all of us are called anti-Semitic because we love a guy that we think you guys are victimizing. What does this really mean? How do you feel about me? That's how you see us. And it goes from there. And you see organizations like the ADL jump up and show their true colors, and then having us look into them and saying, whoa, we didn't know you guys had this much power. We didn't know you guys had us on the list. Come on, man. We've got to realize that we are a nation. We're a nation. We are a nation of people. A nation doesn't have one ideological ethos. A nation has a multitude of things, multitude of pieces, multitude of things that it believes, that it does, but this is what it's unified by. It's unified by the solidarity that we are all seen the same way. An American passport, you go to France, you got an American passport, you're seen as an American. You try to go to Egypt with that American passport, you're seen as an American. You go to Russia with that American passport, you're seen as an American. Brittany Griner is in jail in Russia because she's an American, not because she's a black woman, and not because of that little bit of $5 worth of vape. She's in jail because of that passport. You understand? And this is why I said to Putin, let our little black girl go. Let our little black girl go, Mr. Putin. Don't see her as an American right now. That's your issue with the federal government. See her as a little black girl. You've never had a problem with us. Let her go. And that's why I'm coming to Chicago. All right? More's to come. I'm going to try to live stream everything that's happening in Chicago. I'm going to link some stuff here. Thank you for coming on this live. Thank you for sharing it. We're going to see you in Chicago on December the 1st. And stay tuned, man. I've got some great people that we're going to be talking to in Chicago, and maybe even before. I'm trying to get in touch with Dr. Cornel West. I don't know what some of y'all feel about it, but I love him. I think he's amazing. Brittany Griner is a prisoner of war. And again, the Association of World Justice. Let that be on the tip of your tongue. The Association of World Justice. That's the NGO that I'm hoping to get penned down even before I get to Chicago this week. The Association of World Justice. We're trying to register that. We're trying to push that with all the power we can. And this is the real spiel. Love you guys. Thank you very much. We are risen. They say you have to believe it and visualize it to make it so. We have mountains of work to do, but we shall. Herman Rome, bless you. And I'll talk to everybody soon. I'll be in touch. Today's not over. Bye-bye.